Big chilling.
We here in the Hydro Bar.
Always.
Shout to Tim. Shout to Tim Jr., Senior.
It's Yankee season.
Mama Hydro. What's her name? I don't know. Mama Baca. Mama Baca. Shout to Dennis. Yo, I had a dope convo with Dennis in here. He's from New York. Him and his wife.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, she's from Jersey, actually. He's from New York, too. He's a big Yankees fan, so we was just chopping up. How about them fucking Yankees, bro?
How about them Yankees, bro?
How about them fucking Yankees, bro?
Aaron Judge.
Fuck Judge. Let me tell you something, bro.
You.
No, fuck Aaron Judge,
bro. He's that guy.
Yeah, when he's that guy, but what about the other times when he fumbles and shit?
Bro, you can't be successful all the time. You're talking about a sport that if you're good a quarter of the time,
bro,
you good.
Jordan was on point every time, dog.
Bro, hitting 250 career is a good career.
Yeah, but he's never consistent.
Bro, he's hitting over 300 in his career.
Man,
he's hitting over 400 right now. What you mean?
All right, listen, shout to Judge. I hate Judge. You know what I'm saying? Because when it really matters and I need him to be consistent, crickets, bro.
Bro, he's that guy.
What's going on with Soto?
Yo, Soto.
Did he just give up or something?
Bro, he's hurt. He realized what
of course he's hurt.
He left, and he's like, oh, my God. I left the rich man.
What a bozo. He's making money over there, though.
But we would have made him more money. He would have won rings with us, bro.
Why he go to the Mets, though? Was it just money or
money?
Honestly. So the Mets gave him more money than the Yankees?
Yeah. And then there was something about security. He wanted to have like security for his family or something.
Why?
I don't know.
Because the fans or something?
Yeah. I mean, just,
That's wicked.
Protecting family and shit. I guess.
Fucking Soto. I see the Knicks is in the playoffs.
I mean, I don't really care for the Knicks.
I know you don't.
They haven't done nothing.
Who's your squad in basketball?
They haven't done nothing in ever.
Who's your squad?
It's no one.
Portland. Tim, who you like in basketball, man?
Portland.
You a Spurs fan?
Wemby.
Okay.
Right.
Fuck, bro. The Knicks ain't gonna be shit.
I'm a fan of Lillard. The Lizard.
The Lizard. Yo, shout out to Lillard, bro.
But yeah, no, he was that dude in Portland. So I just kind of
him. Where does he play now?
He plays in Milwaukee.
Oh, the Bucks played earlier. I seen that today. All right. So yeah, man, we back for another sit down. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody. Following, subscribing. We appreciate everybody on the check. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things going on. A lot of great things happening. So we got some topics to hit on. So what we got? Producer T-Rab, what we got, bro?
We got that Swizzy album that dropped yesterday.
God damn it. Yo, I love Swizzy.
Yo,
man.
Swizzy's a G, bro. That motherfucker 290.
Yo, Swizz gotta be. I think he's my favorite producer, bro.
Like bias wise, like.
Yeah. Nah, like his range is so crazy, bro.
I mean, not saying like that, but everybody has their bias towards that one artist, that one producer.
Ain't no bias. It's real facts. Like he's
I mean,
he's in it's like he in the top 5, bro. Like if you don't put Swizzy in the top 5, like I don't think you really understand hip hop music.
But you know how you have that one person that like you defend, point blank, period. Like I don't care what you say. Like
I'm not really that kind of person.
See, but
I'm not biased though.
I'm in a generation where I have to like tell people like, no, you were wrong.
Of course you gotta tell them wrong.
Like,
the fuck you know?
Like you wrong, bro.
Yeah. Nah, Swizzy is. It's crazy. Like he's been doing this Godfather of Harlem. Mm-hmm. It's a series I believe on one of these premier channels, but he does this EP /soundtrack every time a season comes out, and you just kind of see where he's at that moment, right? Mm-hmm. And this is another season that I think this might be season 4 or 5 that they dropped the soundtrack for. I've never seen the show before. I just listened to the music, Swizzy's a monster, bro.
E used to watch it. E used to watch it.
Oh, word?
Yeah. Whenever we were living together.
Oh, dope. Shout out to my
like,
brother
yo,
E, man.
You
wow.
need to watch that with the.
It's crazy. I heard
Forrest
good things
Whitaker.
about it. My pops, rest in peace. He actually liked it quite a bit because he grew up in Harlem. So all those stories and things like that. Of course, a lot of it isn't based on reality. Some of it is, dramatized and shit like that. But I heard it's a good show, man. I might have to peep it. For sure.
Horn. But as the executive producer for these soundtracks, how do you think he's setting the setting?
I think Swizz is really dope at that. Like I said, I hadn't seen the shows, but if it's basically a story of Bumpy Johnson, from Harlem and I think like the 50s and 60s. So I think when you look at it from that perspective, like Swizz can always draw that. He can always give you that feeling through the music, right? Through his production, the grittiness.
Always.
He's got some insane soul chops. Part of me that like, I think long term people underrate Swizzy's ability for the soul samples and the chops. But yeah, I think he's done a great job on the soundtrack side. Like I said, I hadn't seen the show, but I think when we look at the actual music behind it, you kind of get that feeling, that kind of throwback feeling on some cuts where it's like, yeah, they could have been playing this shit. It's like it's got the 60s feel, but it's got that 2020 vibe to it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but Swizzy's the type. I think he's one of the producers, one of the only producers that can actually make that a reality, right? Of bringing those songs to the big screen, to the the TV screen. So. I fucks with it, bro.
Have it translate in
absolutely.
both ways.
And the dope thing is like with Swizzy is that he's very versatile. So it's like he can hit you with a classic Swizzy kind of Rough Rider anthem type style, but then like I said, he can hit you with the soul chop. And it's like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? So he had a lot of dope features on this. Like Larry June was on a couple records. Sauce Walker was on a couple records.
Good job, Larry.
His new artist Scarlip, which was dope. I love hearing Scarlip and Swizzy. We haven't heard a lot from them, because Scarlip is, she's. I guess her album is actually coming out this summer, or a mixtape. I'm not sure how they're gonna promote for it, but Swizzy's been working with Scarlip, so there's a record on that on the new soundtrack with Scarlip that's New York, bro. I think it's called New York City. It's just banger. It's that hard Swizzy, and then Scarlett's like, put your hands up. Like, she's so dope with it, man. So, and then Kiss and Push is on there. He's got a lot of dope. Conway the Machine's on there. Yo, Electronica got a record that's super tough. So I dig it, man. I'm really enjoying it. I'm a big Swizzy fan. So once that shit was dropping, I was like, yo, add to the playlist. Let's let it rock.
So speaking of Push and Kiss, so Swizzy is able to have these collaborations, but like, do you think that it resonates well in both like today's hip hop and with the show's narrative?
Yeah, because here's the thing about Kiss and Push, like these guys are masters of their craft with the pen. They can paint any picture. Whatever topic or theme is at bay for Swizzy to produce, like, yo, I need you to rap about A, B, C, D, you know what I'm saying? X, Y, Z. Those two guys are going to kill it. So, they're acts that have been around for a long time. Push's been around for a very long time. Kiss, the same thing. You couldn't get a better collaboration between the two. And the record's dope because it's called Danger, Danger, but the way he did the production is it kind of like the beat it has a slow build up, but when it gets to the second part of the hook, you start to get that Swizzy bop, and it paints that picture like grimy gutter bar work like crazy. Like Kiss and Push bodied that record, bro. They killed that shit, and I love hearing them together because the wordplay in itself is just it's immaculate, bro. And you got Swizzy on the boards, like it doesn't get any better than that. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So I that was a huge standout for me. Is like, and to answer your question about it resonating with today's hip hop, I think that we're getting back to the bar work. You know, for a long time, I think people wasn't really paying attention to the bar work, but now people paying attention to the bar work. You know, so I think as they incorporate these kind of records into the show, you know, if this is the new season, right, there's a feeling for everything on this project, right? There's a feeling for every, I'm pretty sure every scene in the series, right, where any of these records could fit in. But you want some grimy hood bar work, you know what I'm saying? It's pushing kids. Like, you can't get no better than that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Nah, for real. So how do you think that this soundtrack reflects his evolution, Swizzy's evolution?
It's crazy, bro. Like, Swizz is one of those guys to me that, like, he's getting better, bro. Like, sometimes I'll hear a beat, I'll hear a record, and I don't know Swizz did it unless it's on a lit, like the production list. You know what I'm saying? Or on this project. You know, so his range is so crazy that I think for him evolving into the producer he is now, he's just getting better and better, bro. You know, I think that comes with a lot of practice. He's got a great team behind him too. He's got a lot of producers that kind of work within him. You know, shout to A-Rod Music. Can't remember the other kid's name, but they it's like they just put together heat all the time. I think the key thing for me is that, you know, you look at like Rough Riders Anthem and, you know, a lot of those kind of old Swizzy records where like Swizzy used to have this sound.
You could tell.
You could tell, right? Mm-hmm. You can't tell now, and I love that shit. On this new soundtrack, there's a couple of beats too that give you kind of that old Swizzy feel, but it's definitely updated and perfected, right? So I think the evolution for him as a producer has been incredible, and I'm excited to see what he brings. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I heard the Push and Kiss record, I thought of Jay-Z immediately. It's like a perfect record for Hov to jump on.
Why do we always bring up Hov?
I don't know, bro. Lately, there's been a lot of things going on where it's like Hov could be fitting into some of these pieces that's happening right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure where he's at. Where you at, Hov? You know what I'm saying? We need an album, G. We need an album ASAP.
He just shot down that lawsuit quick.
But that beat is definitely, and then like the visuals too with the video, like I felt like Jay should have been in there. You know what I'm saying? It just felt like a Hov type of record. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, to answer your question, I think for the evolution of Swizzy it's amazing to see, because like we kind of talked about, when you heard a Swizzy joint back then, it kind of had that feel to it. And I think over the years he's perfected things, and he's gotten better. And his range right now is insane. Like, I heard a couple beats off this project. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Swizzy did this shit? Like, it's out of his range, but in the same breath, like, he goes off vibes. That's his thing. Like, you know, I'm going off the vibes. You know what I'm saying? The Zaza. And he got it still, bro. Like, Swizz is one of those producers to me that, like, he's like Kanye in that sense, where it's like every time he drops something, man, it's something new, fresh. But it still gives you kind of that feel. You know what I mean? So I love seeing it, man. Shout out to Swizz, and shout out to his old production team, man. They do some incredible work, man. And shout out to Scarlip, man. I can't wait for Scarlip's project. I think she's gonna be the next. Mark my words, bro. She gonna be the next, like, big artist to me that gives you that feel that like X gave you, where you put on an X album, you could cry. You know what I'm saying? You get hype. You could feel the pain. You could feel the emotion. You know, she's gonna be something special, and I think with Swizz, you know, riding behind her and giving her the soundtrack to her life and her story, is gonna be something special, bro. I can't wait. Shout out to Scarlip, man. BX.
All right, so
get the fuck out, New York. Yo, that record was hard,
that was
bro.
Wild. That was wild.
She's had some dope little records too here and there that she been, you know, trying out, I think, and seeing what kind of vibe she could get, and she got some bangers, bro. So shout out to her, man.
So considering the themes of power, struggle, and resilience in this series, how effectively does the season 4 soundtrack capture those narratives? Like, were you able to feel that? Yeah.
There's a record with Scarlip, and I believe I can't remember the other artist's name on it, but it's a real record, bro. It's definitely talking about struggle, and Scarlip does a really good job of being able to to draw that emotion. She got a crazy story. So I think somewhat to it, the J Electronica record, you feel that as well. There's some grittiness and grimy to it for sure. And that's one of the things I love about soundtracks is that you get that feeling, you know, if it's done properly, right? You get that feeling where it's like you said, man, it shows the resilience, right? It shows the hunger, it shows the power struggles, it shows there's a couple records on there, you know, someone about to get murked. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So Swizzy, like I said, production-wise, I think he's always able to encapsulate that feeling or whatever the record might be. You know what I'm saying? So
Or
I dig it, man. Everybody that hasn't peeped it, man, go stream it. Godfather of Harlem soundtrack, crazy cut with Push and Kiss, crazy joint with Larry June and Conway and Sauce Walker. Like, there's some bangers on there. Scarlip's got a couple records on there. J Electronica. So yeah, man, go out there and support Swizzy, man.
The commission.